I hit the guy with the brick and the cops are still looking for me. Oh, hello there.
Hey,
I'm Justin.
I'm Frank.
We're part of the Dude Bros, and we're going to give you our thoughts on the movie Black Panther.
Yeah.
So, I guess we should do that.
Run the streets, motherfucker.
Alright, so this is going to be our non-spoiler section. It's only going to be a few minutes long because honestly this is just going to be us sharing our opinion. Myself and Justin. And then we'll go into the spoilers and we'll talk a little bit about this movie and what our actual thoughts and elaborate. This is a good Marvel movie. I enjoyed this movie. Black Panther had a interesting aesthetic. The plot was kind of fun. We enjoy. I mean, it's exactly what you expect from Marvel at this point in time. You know, the characters all felt like they had kind of their own like thing. They didn't feel generic, which I feel like some Marvel movies have. And ultimately, like I enjoyed this movie. It was what I expected it to be. Nothing more, nothing less. And we're not going to give number ratings to this.
We're not?
No. You know why we're not going to give number ratings? Because people freak out about number ratings. And you don't need to.
I mean, I kind of like making people freak out.
It's a 1 out of 10.
No.
Okay.
It's
Right. All right. But, you know, those are my quick thoughts. Justin?
Yeah, I found the movie to be enjoyable. It's a Marvel movie. They're all kind of the same. Unlike DC movies, which are immensely bad, Marvel movies are typically good. Some of them are better than others, but ultimately I never go away feeling incredibly disappointed. Black Panther was a beautifully shot movie. It was well cast. It had some humorous moments, some great action sequences, and I liked it overall. But, and we'll get to that when we get to the spoiler section of it.
That was our quick thoughts. I'm going to be honest with you guys. We really don't want to spoil this movie because I feel like a lot of people that put up reviews do this. And that's our thoughts on the movie. Pretty simple.
Yeah, spoiler free.
But
now getting
yes,
to the spoiler section. We had overall conflicting thoughts about the movie as a whole. While we both enjoyed the movie because, again, it's just a Marvel movie, it's kind of what you expect, but I honestly was disappointed with the film. I will get into my thoughts, which are a little more morose and less positive in that regard, and listen to what your thoughts were on the movie first, though, Frank.
Okay. So, basically, T'Challa, the Black Panther, is a really cool character. He plays the character really well, and his basically he's about to be crowned king and everything. And if you're part of the family, you have a chance, or if you're of royal blood, you have a chance to try and fight to gain the throne. You know, and they have this big elaborate scene of, you know, doing this, and it's, you know, again, visually amazing. I will say one of the things about this movie compared to other Marvel movies is that the visuals were pretty much better, I think, than most of the other Marvel movies when it came to costume design, set pieces, and everything. T'Challa becomes the king. He doesn't get challenged. So, I mean, everything that kind of happens between that and the first time we meet, like, Killmonger and all that, kind of, like, doesn't really add anything to the movie. It's kind of more of just showing us more of the characters and not even really giving us backstory. We learned from one of our characters there was an attack in the past that basically killed his family, and he wanted to get, I guess, you know, revenge, and they wanted to bring back, you know, Claw to put him on trial or whatever, execute him, whatever.
Fulfill Wakanda justice.
Right. And ultimately that whole plot line goes to Eric Killmonger essentially taking him. Then things start to kind of get a little weird. Eric Killmonger, you know, is Wakandan, brings Claw's dead body to Wakanda, and then just immediately challenges the throne. He beats Black Panther, throws him off the cliff. Of course he throws him off the cliff because, you know, killing him right there in front of everyone wouldn't have just been very satisfying.
Which, nitpicking criticism, part of the thing about Killmonger and all his little, like burns or whatever to his things were, he was a confirmed kill person. They talked about how he has all these confirmed kills, and so he throws Black Panther over the thing. I get it. It's, it's whatever, but typical movie bullshit.
That's where, like, to me, I felt like the movie just basically fell into the typical Marvel antics.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you use this plot device to say that, oh, of course he's still going to be alive, because all of us know that he's still alive. So, he becomes king, and then it was a movie that was basically talks about being traditional, and then it kind of just destroys all the traditions in the third act.
Yeah.
But
which makes not a lot of sense, but it's a movie.
For me, I know that there was a lot of social commentary about this movie and a lot of things. And, you look at it as one, breaking down the past, changing things for the future. It was kind of like, this is, I don't know if it was maybe saying like that, culture needs to change or things need to change, which of course everything needs to change. Things need to change over time, but I wasn't sure if the message was really clear, and it might have been a little bit watered down. And so, obviously Black Panther wins. I mean, there's really not much. I don't really need to explain to you how the story is. So I'm going to use this as my thing, talking about the culture and everything, to segue into Justin's comments about this film, which were a little bit different than mine.
So I'm not allowed to score the movie, but I'll say it's okay, not great. The reason I was really excited about Black Panther, not just because the character in Wakanda and his whole history is immensely intriguing, but especially in today's social, political climate, the issues of, especially in the United States, about blackness and what that means, and sort of racism revolved around it. This movie was touted as being more than a superhero movie. I've literally read critic reviews that discussed all these parallels to the importance of it, because Ryan Coogler, who previously did Fruitvale Station and then Creed, Fruitvale Station obviously really important social commentary. Even Creed, the idea of being abandoned by your father and having to live up to expectation within Black culture, highlighted really well. Black Panther, which was touted as being this thing, does not hit any of these marks really well, or as Frank was saying, when they do, the writing is also hackneyed and stilted and watered down that it's honestly just a huge disappointment. Yes, I get that you're trying not to alienate your audience, which is going to be the majority of it is going to be white, and I felt this movie just missed the mark on so many opportunities and just became a generic superhero, whereas shows like Luke Cage and even the more recent Black Lightning, I feel, focus on the current issues in the American political climate and landscape with issues of racism more so than this. Ultimately, in the end, the way that I had to look at the way it was presented is it's the son of a king. This is not really representative at all toward Black culture. Aside from the aesthetics of being treated differently from the look of it, it does not discuss the economics that lower class Black people face. Because the way that it does it, Killmonger is representative to the Black culture that this movie's being advertised to, and he's the villain. He becomes the James Bond villain with the wanting to just kill everybody or
towards
whatever.
the end, yeah.
But it's really, not only was he betrayed and abandoned by his own people, because as we find out, Black Panther's father, the original king, made it look like a murder. He did it sloppy to protect a lie. And in doing so, what this comes down to is it makes it feel like it's African royalty versus American Black culture, and the two do not align because of just sheer amounts of wealth and influence. And certainly Wakanda is known as being a third world country, to make themselves safe. And the commentary is brought up by Killmonger as well as to call out that things need to change. But the way that they make Killmonger go, his motivations for it aren't wrong, and that's why I think a lot of people appreciate him as a villain, but then even at the end of it, they made him look like he was the wrong element. And it almost felt like it's this Marvel movie that's about Black culture trying to say that Black culture is wrong. That's the way I felt about it, and that's where the huge disappointment comes in for me, is you had a director who's prominently known for bringing on these issues, and now it just felt like a watered-down Black superhero movie that's just trying to get Black people excited, so they pay it because they have a Black superhero to look at, but doesn't actually bring up any of the social issues that the movie was, in critics' reviews, tried to make it appear that it had. It was a generic Marvel movie.
Right.
Good movie, but again, I'm disappointed because I wanted it to be so much more.
There's a scene where basically when Killmonger gets his, Black Panther powers by drinking the, purple herb thing, and he gets to see his father and talk to his father.
Yeah.
And I feel like that scene is kind of where I started to not like Eric Killmonger and the way that was written or directed, because the scene is, for me, I wanted Eric Killmonger to become a redeemable character. I wanted him in the end to ultimately see the errors of his ways because of what he represented. And I honestly feel like they did the opposite of that, because when he sees
they made him a generic James Bond villain.
Well, when he sees his father and talks to his father, it would have been really powerful to have it be a moment where his father says, like, what he's doing is not remember to don't necessarily always go off of revenge. You need to be who you are, and remember that, these are people, but don't let the past affect the future. But that was the problem. Is he really he never had a moment of clarity, and then he was fueled by basically revenge for things that happened in the past. And I honestly feel like that is the wrong message. And obviously he gets defeated in the end, but it's like saying that, I just thought that, it's not looking forward. It's like he consistently looked backwards, and it hurt his character as the story went on to the end, because we know he's going to lose. And he's going to lose at the beginning of the movie. We all know. Yeah. So that really kind of made me not like his character. But I liked his character up until that point, and at that point, it was just kind of we're just going to get another generic Marvel movie ending with some big battle scene to give the action fans some action, and the actual story of it just never really rounded out in the end. It kind of just was nothing. This didn't matter. Nothing really happened in the end. We're back to the beginning, and it was just kind of again, generic Marvel.
And that's what it really comes down to. It's a very enjoyable movie. I mean, if you go into Marvel movies with just the expectation it's going to be a fun ride with some action sequences, but the thing is, it's to me, this was a popcorn flick that could have been a lot more, even if it didn't just push political or social commentary, throw it in your face. I wish still that it had a little bit more, but I suppose I could still get that from Black Lightning and Luke Cage. Chadwick Boseman, the entire cast was great. I loved so much of it, the visual look of it. It was so beautiful. But again, certainly the way that it ends with him buying the housing complex and establishing that he's going to do right for people in other nations, specifically Oakland, where Ryan Coogler's from, to basically give this little message of hope. It just felt like it was thrown in and watered down, and I felt that the whole blackness angle was more of a marketing ploy than was actually fulfilled, and that's the issue that I ultimately have with it. And I know some people are probably like, but Justin, you're not even that black. And to that I say, shut up.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's our review of Black Panther. That's kind of what we think and our thoughts. Again,
worth checking out. It's definitely.
Yeah, if you like Marvel movies, go watch this movie.
Yes, it's very enjoyable.
You will still go out there and you'll enjoy it. Anyways, yeah, I'm Frank.
And I'm some guy.
Yeah, and that's our Dude Bros review thing.
Yes. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
We done. Hope we're done.